Hi, everybody. Welcome to Power of Knowing Forums, tech that moves you, ideas that scale you. From cloud infrastructure to cybersecurity to growth strategies and leadership insights, our four pillars have empowered worldwide professionals. And today, the topic of discussion is about compliance, cyber defense, BDSLCCI framework, HIPAA proofing your practice. This is a framework that we are talking about, which was devised by Dr. Shekhar Pawar, our speaker today, your go-to podcast on tech, cybersecurity, and growth. I am Prem Kumar AS, and we will be exploring the regulations and compliance on the medical domain that we are talking about. Welcome to all the people tuned in to Power of Knowing podcast series episode 262 live on LinkedIn. Thank you for being part of our journey, and here we continue to grow and succeed. To have the topic discussed, let's welcome our speaker, Dr. Shekhar Pawar, founder and CEO of Secure Claw Inc., doctorate from on cybersecurity from Swiss School of Business Management, Geneva, joining us today. Let's welcome our esteemed speaker to the podcast event. Sir, welcome to our podcast, sir.
Thank
Good evening.
you, Ramesh sir.
How are you today, sir?
I am doing great, and you are also doing very great.
Thank you.
I guess yeah, you are every Tuesday, every second Tuesday of the month. Microsoft releases the patches to their system, and every Tuesday, more than Microsoft, you are doing these patches every week. So it is very nice initiative which you are working since I guess 2 years now.
Yes, sir. It is 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So thank you for inviting me again.
Welcome, sir. Sir, over to you. We wanted to understand the cybersecurity compliance framework that is there, part of your BDSLCCI, and a recent published paper on the HIPAA compliance framework protecting the organizations. So, over to you, sir.
Okay, so recently I have, if you can bring this paper up here, thank
Yeah.
you. So recently I have published one research paper which got published by European Economic Journal, and it is a highly indexed journal in the Europe. And this paper is talking about implementing HIPAA compliance cybersecurity for healthcare small and medium enterprises, including hospital actually, uh, using business domain specifically cybersecurity controls implementation. And this paper is very important because there are hardly any such research papers available in the market which are talking about reasonable cybersecurity, which even any small hospital or clinic can implement. So this paper will be helpful for many across the world, and I'm thankful to the journal editors of economic European Economic Letters journal. So they published it. So if you look at this paper, we will be sharing the link of this paper with the audience after this event on in the comment or description. So if you look at this paper, it is talking about the latest cyber attacks happen on the hospitals and healthcare industry, and it is horrible to see. There are even ransomware attack. There are various cyber threats increasing throughout the globe, regardless of your location. The hospitals are facing cyber attacks. That is very serious. And before a couple of years, one lady in Germany died because there was a ransomware attack on the hospital, and ransomware attack stopped the function. The doctor couldn't treat her on time. So it is a very serious offense or threats to the treatments in the hospitals also, because it is damaging even health as well as it is injurious to the life. So now it is a very serious issue. As you can see on the screen, this paper is talking about medical implants on the human body and how those can be hacked are also explained in the next page. And we will be talking about this topic in this session. So I'm not going one line by line on this about this paper, but I'm just giving some overview. like medical digital equipments also can be hacked, and there are compliance which every hospital and every healthcare industry should follow. And HIPAA is one of the best compliance in healthcare industry, which is actually law of USA government, and it is applicable for healthcare industries in United States. But still, many countries like in India and other countries, there is no such law as such for healthcare industry, which will protect environment of the healthcare industry as well as protect the patient information data, PHI data. We call it as a EPHI, electronically saved, and it is also talking about the physical data of the patient. So how it should be stored, how it should be secured. It is more focused on that, and there are heavy penalties if you fail to comply with this HIPAA compliance in United States. So if the patient is from United States, then I guess it is still applicable, if, even though its data is with you outside United States. So it is very important. In India, our government was working towards Disha compliance, like it is similar to HIPAA compliance, and Disha compliance was primarily going to be focused on healthcare industry and how to cyber security, how to protect the data of patients, but still it is not implemented or not released as such. Various countries are trying to have some such kind of compliance requirement. Healthcare data is very important for any hacker because it is having very crucial information about persons. Uh, like health information is very crucial information, very sensitive information for any hacker. They can leak it if there is a VIP person, if he is diagnosed as some disease. So that information is very important to media. It is attractive for that for different markets, for even cyber criminals. So it should be protected. So that is how the HIPAA compliance is helping us. As shown in this page on my research paper, there are various threats applicable for the healthcare industry, and there are inside healthcare industry can be a big threat. There are few malicious devices which we are importing from the countries who are probably enemy of us, and we don't know what that equipment will do in our environment. So we are blindly importing those at cheaper rate, and we are using those equipment. We don't know if there is a backdoor, if there is a malware, if there is certain window kept open to be hacked by that country. We are very much, if I will talk about India or other few countries, we are very vulnerable for such kind of attacks because we are using many such instruments or digital equipments from the outside of the India. And you must have heard about like METI, which is in Information Technology Ministry of India. They are now going to replace all the SIM cards of India, right? Because those are manufactured, many of those are manufactured in China. So SIM card kind of it is not a small chip. It is having Java applet, the coding part in it. SIM card. It is not just a piece of plastic and metal. It is actually storing lot of information of your identity. It can send SMS. It can receive SMS. It plays very important role in digital payments. So such kind of threats are growing, and that's why the compliance is very much important. It is not only injurious to the life if we are ignoring those. It will also cause financial issues. It will cause ransomware kind of attacks. It will cause threat to the economy also. So it is very important. So I guess people will read this paper and they will like this paper, especially who are working in the healthcare industry. Here is one figure which is showing how much ransomware attack happened in the healthcare industry. So this paper is well explained. Um, and as you know, like the BDSLCCI talks about defense in depth mechanism, where there is a human security layer, physical layer, data security, application security, network security. and it is also talking about mission critical assets. So for any hospital, the mission critical asset might be the customer data, patient data database, or they can the mission critical asset might be the emergency calling system to the hospital. And again, the mission critical asset can be the ICU equipment. Suppose ICU equipment stop functioning, the patient might die, right? So it is very important to understand the mission critical assets should be protected properly, and there is BDSLCCI helps the industry. So we go one by one with the mission critical asset, and we identify mission critical asset of the organization along with defense in depth, which is cyber hygiene for entire organization, and it helps organization to even implement good cyber security within 30 to 40 controls, which we are recommending, because we are protecting their business, their motivation, why they are in market. So it is very important to protect their vision and mission story. Uh, as you can see, the BDSLCCI framework is having list of controls which we provide them once they log into our portal. And here, this table will also help people reading this paper uh, with the HIPAA compliance mapped with the BDSLCCI. So it is a very interesting paper. I guess we will be sharing the link. So I'm not digging into each and every line of this paper, but yeah, people should read this, especially if they are working with healthcare industry. So it will help them to cyber secure their or think in a cyber security orientation or their organization. So I guess you can unshare the screen, and if there are any questions, please go ahead.
So thank you for that, sir. It is an interesting paper. I went through the paper. A lot of data that is there in it. So to looking at, see, HIPAA compliance is been predominantly in the United States laws protection, where patients' data is being protected, right? So I wanted to understand some of the pointers that we look at HIPAA compliance in specific, look, and how your framework that you are building up to have for specific industries across the globe is helping. So would like to understand, how does BDSLCCI framework simplify, or I will go in a first point is not simplify. What would be the misconception that businesses have about HIPAA compliances and cyber security in today? I'll take that as the first question. The second question I'll take it next, sir. So I wanted to have that information on it, sir. Your views on it, sir.
So HIPAA compliance is a law actually.
Mm,
We should call it in easy language. We can say it is a law in United States. Like we are having certain laws while we are walking on the street, while we are driving the car on the street. So everyone need to follow certain rules, because HIPAA is more critical law in United States. It is more critical compliance because it is talking about health of the person. If it is broken, then it will be injurious to the people's lives also, or health issues can increase. So in my paper, when you will read the introduction part, you will understand that I have explained one cyber attack happened in United States, where cyber criminals actually take down multiple digital assets of one hospital, and then doctors started moving their patients to another hospital. So another hospital was in their radius of say 5 to 10 miles.
mm,
So that was the next hospital, and hackers were very smart enough. They also did attack on that hospital parallel to this hospital, so as patients can't be treated. So then everything moved into manual way of working. So starting from the appointment booking, starting from the diagnosis, starting from the operations, like robotics kind of operating systems are there right now in hospitals. So everything were done manually, and it is a very lengthy process. So they can't treat all patients at small time, so
okay.
efficiency decrease. So there are such incidents happening in the industry. So compliance is not overburden. It is the like the if you are wearing raincoat in the rain, right? So you can't wear same dress in heat or summer, right? So
Yeah.
same way, there is a compliance requirement which is in align with uh, your presence in the market, right? So you can't say I don't want HIPAA kind of compliance, or I want to, I'm having fair enough knowledge, I will do it my own way. So it is not like that, and even there are penalties if you
Mm,
fail to do that, and it is observed like you are not following HIPAA compliance in United States. So there
mm.
is cyber security is one of the part which is helping HIPAA compliance to adhere by the hospitals of the healthcare industry. And it is very important to have cybersecurity controls within organization to comply this kind of environment.
Sir, how does the framework simplify complex journey of HIPAA compliance from a tech-driven organization, sir?
I purposely mapped HIPAA compliance sections with the BDSLCCI implementation. And it is BDSLCCI talks about the layered architecture. Like it is not telling you your organization to implement everything at first day. It is giving you what should be done on first day, what should be done on second day, what should be done on third day. And it is having different levels. So
Mm,
in first level, we are asking to protect endpoint and data, and in the second level we are asking for network protection, and in that way it is incremental process for an organization. So they it is benefiting organizations because they are able to implement it step by step with small investment. They can start this journey, and secondly, it can be done in very less time because they are able to get chunks of the journey, or part of the cybersecurity controls to be implemented at one time, and it is gradually they are going till level 3 of the BDSLCCA, and every after every level they can actually go for audit, and there is online audit also possible, and offline audit is also possible, and they get certificate, mark sheet kind of transcript from us, and again third document is complete report of what is the effectiveness and coverage of the cybersecurity controls within their organization according to BDSS. So we give them 30 pages kind of report, which they can even share with their clients to gain trust. So that is how this journey is designed for any small and medium enterprise, hospital, or even school and colleges. So one more paper is coming in a couple of weeks, which is about cyber attacks on schools and colleges. So I will be sharing about that also in future session of ours. So that will be also helpful for many. So that is how we have designed cybersecurity journey for any organization in BDSLCCI. It is reducing the cost, it is reducing time, and it is relevant to your business. As its name suggests, business domain specific least cybersecurity controls implementation framework. It means it is not for manufacturing industry. We have different controls. For
mm.
hospital, we have different controls. For e-commerce, we have different control. For school, we have different control. So every domain is having different mission critical asset, different way of working, and different kind of data, different kind of digital assets they have. So we have different uh, cybersecurity controls mapped to their business goal.
Coming to the next point, I want to understand from you, where does most of the organizations fail when implementing HIPAA uh, safeguards, and the tech and the training or the mindset side? What is that we are having, sir? Where is that it is failing?
So people will always feel like they will never undergo any cyber attack. Okay.
Hmm.
They purchase antivirus, they purchase firewall, and they bring that box, keep it in on their wall firewall, and they install some kind of cheaper antivirus, and they feel now we are cyber secure. There is no need of any other standard or framework to be implemented. But it is not true. You also know, right? You are in IT and you are also leading certain companies.
Yeah.
So there are people, process, and technology. Even though you have very smart firewall placed in your office, but it have you configured it properly? Have you checked what kind of network traffic is happening?
Hmm.
Are you allowing any your employees to connect with your internet? Are you allowing your employees to charge their mobile phone on your laptop? Are your USB drive enabled? So there are many such points. If I will keep on talking, there are hundreds of points which I can talk only for laptop. So nowadays, people are working from home. People are bringing their devices to the office. People are not following processes, starting from physical security. They are doing tailgating. So there are many such issues, and people, process, and technology, three areas should be safeguarded. I did a lot of struggle actually to bring down those number of controls. If you talk about NIST kind of cybersecurity standard, they are having hundreds of controls to be implemented. I brought it down to 30 to 40, 45 controls for a small and medium enterprise or hospital or school. So it is very difficult to bring down the controls, but making sure like these controls, if efficiently implemented, the there are very low risk remained for any organization to get hacked. So we are doing, and one more thing about the BDSLCCI framework is it is upgrading every year. So
Mm.
every year, January 1st, we are actually launching new version of BDSLCCI, and it is outcome of the latest cyber attack. So last year we studied about 4,500 cyber attacks worldwide, and we published report about it. Uh, Prior to that, we studied about 5,500 kind of cyber attacks worldwide. So every year we are studying, and we are also studying what is happening in the market now, as India and many countries have implemented DPDP or Digital Data Privacy Act kind of compliances. So our framework is again having alignment with market changes. So it is helping our industries to uh, defend themselves in against all the latest cyber attacks, and it is available as a BDSLC is available as a web platform. So companies need to register themselves. In India, we have created BDSLCCI.in, which is also available in English, Hindi, and Marathi. And we will keep on adding regional language because I visited many organizations, few owners are not very good with English. So and I made it very simple portal to make it easy for the MSME kind of companies or doctors. They are not very techno savvy. And BDSSA.com is the international portal which is available for everyone internationally. And with the time, we will be having separate portals for each country.
Okay. I have put a scroll on what is BDSLCCI as a framework, and I've listed out the link down for the website, which is on the scroll. For more information, you can look at that site. And so coming to the next pointer that I want to understand, can you share a real incident where a minor compliance gap became a major security breach? Because what I see from the pointers that you've been sharing off late on the social media and the discussions that you are having across platforms, I see there are a lot of threats and vulnerabilities that are being called out in your discussions. So, can you give us one example where it can help the audience to understand it better, sir?
Uh, you can easily see many news actually
Hmm.
coming across, and every month we as a security law publish latest cyber attack, cyber threat advisory report, in which we rank top 10 issues as per our analysis. But we are actually studying 10 to 15 cyber attacks every day,
Okay.
and every month there is some kind of healthcare industry cyber attack,
Hmm.
and most of those attacks are with the purpose of stealing the data of the patients and use it for I don't know what kind of malicious things, or what kind of blackmailing they are doing afterwards, or phishing attacks they do. So there are many such cyber attacks. One good example of India is the AIMS hospital. Before
Hmm.
couple of years, it has undergone ransomware attack, and all the operations of that hospital was disturbed. And we know, right, for a couple of weeks it was completely a manual process which they followed. So these kind of things are happening, And one more attack, I can't recall exact name of the hospital, but in 2017 there was one attack on one of the healthcare industry where they missed one patch for
Hmm.
their organization, and they, because that patch was missed, it was known in the market, like this patch is for particular fix, and if that is not patched properly, it will cause a vulnerability, and that vulnerability was broken by the hackers, and they actually steal all the data of that hospital. So these kind of things are happening every day. So yeah, I can recall that was Equipex, EQIFX. So they failed to have security patch for Apache kind of technology system, and because they missed that vulnerability fix, they were actually they were not aware that they went under breach for 76 days,
Oh,
and it allowed the hacker to steal 147 million Americans personal data. Can you believe, including
okay.
social security number, uh, date of birth, addresses, and it was a very big lawsuit which they and fines they undergone in 2017. So you can read that interesting case on Google.
Okay. Great, sir. I think that's a major breach come looking at the number of records that are available to be seen from an individual across the globe, which is very personal, and their healthcare reports are publicly available with that kind of data getting misleaded or leaked. Sir, how do leadership and culture play a critical role in the HIPAA proofing beyond just policy documentation, sir?
I guess leaders play a very important role. Many people actually have that work culture in the organization, and they feel like if they implement certain compliance or cybersecurity control, it will disturb their work culture, or it will be extra efforts for each process which they need to follow. But I have seen people,
Sorry.
once they undergo cyber attack, they are like under very psychological trauma, and I have seen people are not even able to sleep for weeks after undergoing cyber attack, and that reality, it is very harsh reality, but people ignore cyber security implementation. Like we always go for kernel of another person, we don't never feel like it will happen to us also someday, and that is the same case. It is kind of insurance, right? We should have insurance similar way. You should have cyber security framework or standard implemented at your organization, and leadership is very important role. I have seen people are not giving budget for license operating systems like Windows, or even simple antivirus 500 600 INR kind of cost for each laptop. They will try to save it, and they will say it is not that important laptop, we will not have antivirus for this, and hackers always try to find vulnerable thing, and that laptop which is having outdated operating system or not having antivirus is the first target for hackers, and they attack. That is the entry point for them in the organization. Once one machine got in ransomware attack or malware, it spreads across the LAN or Wi-Fi, and then it actually spreads across the organization's laptops. So people should understand that governance plays very important role. And in our BDSLCCI also, at the level 3, we are focusing on governance, because we have implemented till level 3 of cybersecurity for particular organization. Now it is management's role is very important. They should at least have watch on what is happening within organization. Are people following the process which we have set? Are people following guidelines? Are we missing somewhere? We are bringing some technology for our hospital or our organization which is not cyber secured. Is our data which we are using for hospital, is it getting captured on cloud which is placed in China? So you need to identify all this checklist, and even in BDSLCCI we are giving say 2 dozens of guideline documents free of cost once company registered with us. And in those guidelines, we are also giving them what are checkpoints you should have as a hospital, or what are the checkpoints as a manufacturing if you are buying any equipment for your organization. So what kind of compliance that device should undergone once you are bringing it to your home or hospital. So all those steps we are giving and guiding organization. So that is very important. So leadership is always accountable. If there will be a penalty clause, if there is a lawsuit, it will be always CEO who will be accountable for that. Rest of the team are responsible. So it is leadership's decision which matters a lot, because they are going to be punished if the organization fails to meet certain compliance. I guess I answered your question.
Yes, sir, you did, on as many as words that can be. Yeah. Okay. uh, Most of the people think that tools can save them, right? So if you have the right tools, they can save. So why is it no longer enough to have security tools, and how does the compliance bridge that gap?
Look, the tools, as a, I'm not talking about some any person, don't take it personally, but as an auditor we always say fool with tool is tool still fool. It
Okay.
means even though you have excellent tool available, even though you have Mercedes car at your parking, you can't drive it. You don't know how it works, so you can't get benefited out of it. So then you should recruit someone outsider who will drive it, maintain it, right? So same way, if you have excellent tools in your organization, the excellent tools should comply with the requirement of the land governing law of the land. Secondly, if we are going for AIML kind of tools, we should be very conscious about where that tool is actually collecting data, how it is stored, how this tool's data collection methodology has backup, which is also should be in within the region of your country. It should be inside your country's boundary. So there are such rules which people ignore. And even suppose you are taking uh, biometric of the employees for door opening the door and taking attendance, have you taken consent of that employee that you are
Mm.
saving their biometric? How you are saving that biometric within your organization? Is it secured? Because your fingerprints are linked with your Aadhaar card
Yeah.
or your SSN ID. So these are the small things, but those can be very dangerous if those got leaked. So every employee in DPDP Act or GDPR, we have employee consent form, which employees should approve
Mhm.
before you are actually saving their information. If you are saying happy birthday, Prem sir, then the person should approve that. Like this is my birth date, it is my personal information. I don't want to disclose with my colleagues. Okay, so these things happens in United States and Europe. I've been there. I stayed there for longer time. So, but in India, it is personal information is not treated as very critical data. Aadhaar card, PAN card kind of documents are distributed among agents. Photocopies are available with everyone. We don't have any seriousness about privacy and compliance. And that is the behavioral change we should bring from the schools and colleges, that kind of age. So as the people, once he enters into organization, he should understand the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of the information. He should understand the privacy, importance of the privacy, because that is how the cyber criminals are actually studying particular people, their psychology, and they are conducting cyber attacks in personal life as well as professional life. So there is a huge behavioral change which is needed across country. Whoever want to implement data privacy kind of act or cyber secure culture.
Sir, coming to our next pointer that I want to understand. Yeah, I got the pointers there, sir. Coming to our next point, what is the practical steps uh, one should take, whether it is a small, medium clinics or startups, to today to become HIPAA compliant or HIPAA ready, at least not compliant, but at least ready with that kind of a framework or law that they can be passed.
Recently, I conducted one workshop for the hospitals. There were many doctors, MD, and surgeons were part of that workshop. More than 150 doctors were there, and I had interaction with them face to face. And I understood they are not techno savvy, and they have undergone cyber attacks in personal and professional life. Uh, there is a uh, there is a gap while we talk about such critical industry, and they are not able to understand cybersecurity as a primary focus for their business. For them, they need something which is easy to implement, where BDSLCCI can help. And another thing is, these organizations are actually not having big budgets for cybersecurity. But as that's why BDSLCCI plays very important role for such organization, where we are able to help them, consult them at very cheaper rate, starting from thousands of rupees, and it is very helpful. Otherwise, it will be very difficult for any small clinic to implement cybersecurity standard. All charges are like in lakhs of rupees.
Yeah.
So that is where I have converted my consulting into web platform. So for ease of organization. Another thing is these small clinics, they are also facing cyber attacks. It is not reaching to the media because of I don't know what are the reasons, but doctor have has fear about their reputation will damage, or they feel like if they feel like they can't trust certain organizations of government. So they have many such concern, and they are very busy. Every day they have operating someone. They are running from this place to another clinic. So they said we don't have time to even report these issues, because police will call us to the police station, or we will be called by government agencies. So they are not open to share that. But when I'm talking to them personally, they are sharing details, and that is not even published in any newspaper or news channel. But there are a lot of such cyber attacks already happening on the clinics, on the hospital. As you can see in United States, there are every couple of weeks you can see one hospital is getting hacked. Even though they have advanced technology, they have HIPAA compliance requirement, people are lagging somewhere and to comply that. And in countries like in India, there is no compliance requirement. So can you imagine how many cyber attacks are happening? Because doctors feel like they have iPhone and they have Skoda car and they are cyber secure. It is not like that. You are purchasing hi-fi technology, but you are not configuring. You are not able to use it properly. So then you are still vulnerable.
Now, I was speaking to somebody on the cybersecurity industry. What most of the organizations feel is they have certain tools, they have certain implementations done, they have firewalls, they are secure. And in one of our discussions, the CIO was asked by the CEO saying that, are we secure? So the answer which the CIO gave was, as on today, yes, tomorrow we don't know. So that is
That is true.
that's how the
It
current
is
security
a problem.
landscape and the frameworks that are happening are coming into picture. And with AI being another tool, it is becoming very difficult because you change so many things using AI, and AI itself is trying to attack AI in a different way, right? So there are a lot of things that are happening in the cybersecurity space, which is a day-to-day task now. Cybersecurity has become a forefront for any business. Earlier it was only to the IT. Now every industry that is on the technology space has to protect their assets, is what I understand, sir. What is your take on it, sir?
Another, yeah, you are right. As you are working in this domain, so you know many things. For our audience, I would like to say, like these cyber criminals are also state sponsored.
Hmm.
So they are like terrorist, cyber terrorist. Like they will not think like if they do ransomware attack on the hospital equipment, people will die. You can see the Pahalgam case. innocent people were killed by the terrorist, and I don't see any sympathy from such countries for that killing happened to innocent people. And that is very important to understand. These criminals are not only criminals, many times those are terrorists, and they will not think like small kids will die in the gynecologist clinic, or people will die in the hospital if we perform cyber attack on the hospital. So we don't have figures available right now. The problem is in India, we don't have actual figures. How many equipments were hacked? How many equipment stopped working in ICU and people died? So we don't have statistics available because no one talks about it. No one share that information, and no one understands whether that happened. Only one Germany's case we knew. Rest case is not visible on online media. But we should study this area because I believe these people are like cyber terrorists. So they don't think even people will die. That is also uh, of no meaning for them. So it is dangerous.
Sir, how can BDSLCCI framework be adopted for remote work environments or distributed teams, sir? Because that's the trend that we are in, right? So, how do we adopt to such kind of environments?
So this framework is also having guidelines for remote working, and because it is part of life now, many times even I work remotely. I am not visiting my office daily basis, uh, and then it is very important how to safeguard your work culture working remotely, and what kind of access you should give to the vendor. So there is complete ARC-SIK, means accountability, consulting, inform, supportive, and there are different roles, 6 to 7 kind of roles which BDSLCCI ask organization to adhere, and where we actually give access control for particular vendor who is working remotely. And again, we are having a few guidelines how to work remotely. So that is also possible. And if the organization is, say, there are two hospitals owned by same uh, management, so they can implement BDSs at both places, because that is how. And there should be, and we should understood like the mission critical asset is the connectivity
To
between
us?
two hospitals. So even connectivity, availability of the connectivity will be more important if we compare it with confidentiality and integrity, because without that they can't work, they can't support. And you can see now in Europe and many countries there is robotics being used for operation,
Hmm.
like the some doctor who is very expert surgeon in say Sweden is able to operate someone from his robotics arm in the Netherlands. So these kind of technologies are getting innovated, and then the cyber risks are increasing. That should not be ignored, and there should be encryption between, there should be availability, signal should not go off during the operation, right? So it is very dangerous thing, and there are many such tools which we also demonstrate during our trainings and workshops, where those can actually turn off your devices, those can turn off your television, those can turn off your AC and all those stuff. And even they can manipulate the frequencies, like that electric cars can be hacked. So same way your IC equipments can be hacked.
Yeah.
It is no not a different era of the technology. So these things people should understand, and they should actually monitor what is happening in the hospital. As if someone is trying to hack their equipment, so no one is actually having data right now to share with such kind of things. But ultimately, doctor or the hospital management will be in trouble if someone dies in the ICU who was very healthy yesterday and was recovering, and because of the some ransomware kind of attack, ICU equipment was disturbed for a couple of hours in the night, and patient lost his life. So doctor and management will be in trouble. So they need to take it very seriously. They need to audit their organization, and we do that cybersecurity audit also for the organizations, where we starting from IoT till cloud devices or cloud environment, we actually try to help them to identify weaknesses in their uh, IT assets. So that is vulnerability assessment and penetration testing, VAPT kind of assignment. Even we do source code audit of the applications, web application, mobile application, net banking, and all those. So that is very important to just save thousands of rupees if you are opening a big risk for your work environment, your customers, your patients. So it is very dangerous, and even your reputation will go down if something like this happen.
Sir, I'll come to the final question that we have for today. What are the top three unknown compliance traps that seasoned IT or legal teams miss, sir? That's the point that I want to conclude with and say, where is that miss and how do we address that?
So most of the time when we consult someone, like say suppose you went to a doctor and he told you in 2024 December, Prem sir, your sugar is good, your BP is good, you are well, you don't no need to worry. So you will take it forever like that report is good for you for your entire life? No, you will go periodically to that doctor 6 months or once in a year, and you will again check your blood sugar, everything, right? So same thing, people who are working in cybersecurity, who are managing cybersecurity or legal team, they feel like we done it in past, so we don't no need to worry, and they are not even updating their skill set. They are not even understanding the latest methodology of cyber attacks, the latest cyber threats in the market, the technology changes which are demanding your technology also to should change in align with that. So they don't understand that. So with AI ML now, even cyber criminals are able to do faster cyber attacks, and with the quantum computing in future, probably it will increase in rapidly. It will be out of control. But parallel to that, quantum computing will again save against the cyber attacks. So it will be counterbalance, I guess. But still, people feel like once they done certain activity or certain compliance, they ignore that area. They don't update.
Hmm.
So that is very important. So I guess that is the biggest challenge. Second challenge is the leadership. They don't want to invest in cybersecurity. They feel like uh, there are certain standards available in market. They feel like it is not in align with their business goal or their business. So that's why business domain specifically cybersecurity control is different, because it talks about hospital cybersecurity differently. It talks about that manufacturing differently, school differently. So it is actually in align with the business goal, what they want to protect, what is their business need, what is their critical asset. So that is also one area. So leadership team should actually take it ahead. That is in their hand, uh, and they need to actually govern this uh, entire cybersecurity for their organization. And you should always be awake. Like we study, as I told you, we study dozens of cyber attack every
Yeah.
day. There is no, if you ask me what I studied today, I have 4 or 5 attacks to tell. So every time I'm just reading, and my teammates are also reading, I keep on forwarding with the things with them. And we try to think how we can cyber secure our customers, our environment, our people. So we try to do that. So because that is the how the technology is changing so rapidly. So Windows XP is gone, Windows 7 came, Windows 7 gone, uh, Windows 10 came. Now 2011 is there. Probably next month we will be having something different version of Windows. So we don't know. It is changing so rapidly, and apps are also changing. Everything is changing, and compliance is also changing. It is not like HIPAA compliance was established and it is
Yeah.
still same. There are upgradation, and you need to be aware of that upgradation.
Sir, I think we come to the final stage. I would like to say a few pointers is that what we understood, this is a framework that is specific for domains that are there, like healthcare. You have it for manufacturing, you have it for utilities and multiple places, where what Dr. Shekhar Pawar is trying to build the framework is to look at having framework set controls that is there. That's the, I'm bringing it on your business domain specific least cybersecurity controls implementation. That's the framework that Dr. Shekhar Pawar is bringing up to the SMEs to use. and it is a very cost effective solution is what I understand with what he's been doing. And he's been talking about the importance of compliance over the last 45 minutes, how it is to be looked at, what are the ways that it can be, how the framework helps the industry in specific to the healthcare, look at how it can be integrated with HIPAA compliance is what Dr. Shekhar Pawar has helped us understand. With this, sir, we would like to thank you for being part of the session. Any last minute pointers that you want to look at and tell the audience who are part of the session today? Uh, your calls. Go ahead, sir.
I always say cybersecurity is your right. Like there are human rights, same way cybersecurity is right for you. It is your right for your personal and professional life, and regardless of size of your organization, regardless of location of your organization, or regardless of your employee strength or even revenue of your organization, it is your right. You are using digital assets. You are walking in the Wi-Fi network. Everything is now Wi-Fi
Yeah.
covered. So we are in the ocean of cyberspace, and you should actually implement cybersecurity. You should be conscious enough in your personal and professional life. You should educate your employees. You should educate your boss, your colleague. That is very important, and that is how we can protect ourselves in this digital world, and we can grow, sustain in this digital world.
And
So that is your right.
I think that's a very important point with DPDP coming into the picture. Now, every digital asset is owned by you, not the organization. You will have to secure your data that is getting over the internet. You will have to protect yourself, your data, because digital data is one thing that is going to be very, very important. And if there is a leak happening, first responsibility belongs to you with the same controls that you are supposed to put on your data. Whatever data you have given out, is it that work is done? How do you look at getting it deleted, and a consent getting that the deletion is done after data has been processed is the key role that DPDP Act is going to bring in. And gone are those days when you give something and you forget. These days the fines are very hefty, and it is going to eat up the organization. I'd say that 250 crores is what is the time fine that they have put on DPDP Act. So be cautious in sharing digital assets. Look at how you take care of the assets and protect yourself from getting cyber attack. That's what I would like.
There is one more paper which was published before a couple of months by me. It is having mapping of BDSLCCI with GDPR
Yeah,
compliance and DPDP Act of India. So I will be sharing the link of it
yeah,
also, which we can add
yeah.
in comment.
Sure, sir. I'll share me the links. I'll put it in the comments so that the audience have a view to it, and we can write a small blog also on that, saying that these are the compliance requirements for GDPR and DPDP Act as well. Sir, with this, thank you for joining, and
Sign up for the Business Domain Specific Leased Cybersecurity Controls Implementation (BDSLCCI) framework. For India, visit www.bdslcci.in/signup. For other countries, go to www.bdslcci.com/signu. For India, visit www.bdslcci.in. For other countries, visit www.bdslcci.com. Stay safe and cyber secure. Thank you.